feet when I touch down. Ay, a few G's on a bus down. Ay, 2 seats on a bus now. You can't take my pride. 2, 3 going up now. Down P in a motel. No beef, I'm a cash cow. New keys to a black Cadillac, going fast now. Too hard in the paint, can't hold me. Couple chains in the bank, can't own me. New friends, I'm still lonely. Let me be great, don't kill my vibe. A lot on my plate, can't waste my time. Cognac to the face, I chase these highs. Bags in a safe, tryna save my life. Too hard in the paint, can't hold me. Couple chains in the bank, can't own me. New friends, I'm still lonely.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Trey Fan Podcast. I am your host, Rashawn, and I'm very excited to welcome back the artist that I work for, the legend himself, Ill Nicky. Welcome back to the show, my brother.
Let's go. Let's get it. Come on.
How you doing, man? You good?
Blessed.
I know, like, it seems like surreal to be back here again. You know, like, I just remember basically as I was saying you before we started recording was like 3 years ago when we did the first interview. And, you know, like, to be here now, it's incredible to see the progress you've made all this time, man. I'm very excited for this one.
Thank you, my guy. You too. Come on.
You know, the first thing I'm gonna get into is, you know, obviously you took a chance on me to represent you, and I appreciate that so much. I hope you know that, man.
Of course.
Why is it so important for you to have that relationship with your fans and even include me on your team, you know, like, for one, you know?
Well, that's what the Ill movement is. I'm actually, oh no, I'm not wearing a shirt. But I have some, I don't know if I don't think I've sent you, have I sent you merch yet?
No, I don't think we have a chance. Yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about it after. We can.
Yeah, remind me because I want to send you a package. But
Okay, thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Absolutely. So the mission statement for the Ill movement is we found a way to work while others sleep to sacrifice a safe life for a risky one with no ceiling. We found this by asking why, not just stopping until we hit our core, and not just changing our status, but the status of others. So the Ill movement was always like this a community.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's really important to me to build something that has something long lasting like that, something real like that. So anytime I ever get a chance to connect with someone on a real level, it's always like, yo, welcome to the family, like, welcome to the Ill movement.
Yeah.
I really wanted to build something within such a volatile industry that was something that people could lean on. And I was really inspired by like strange music and ASAP and Wu-Tang and big crews that felt like they had like an army.
Yeah,
And
they had like a really strong fan base, but like you said, like, it was like more like a family base because of how influential they were and inclusive.
100%. Yeah. So that was always my goal, and our goal collectively, as you know, I'd see us less as an indie label and a little bit more of a community, a little bit more of like a team,
Yeah.
you know, and so that's what we've done for and for each other throughout the years, is really just creating a platform where people have something to rep, you know, something to fall back on and something to represent. And it's I love life. So it's all about love. It's all about unity. It's all about respect. And that's why like, and you struck me as someone that was like we were birds of a feather, you know. You
Yeah.
seem like someone who was gonna stop at nothing to follow your dream, to follow your heart. And you're doing all of that with a smile on your face, you know. So I don't know all your life. I assume it's been challenging at times. I assume you've
Oh,
had your
sure.
adversity. Absolutely. And I think that you represent what I've always wanted the Ill movement to be, really, you know, perfectly. So
Oh man, that means a lot to hear, man. Thank you so much for that,
hell
bro.
yeah. Come
That's
on.
incredible.
I just gotta send you merch.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. No, it's one thing to be connected to your fans, but I feel like the way that you have done it over the years has been something very special, because I think even when you know, reached out to me, like, I think I tagged you a while back in a video, and actually you actually took the time to watch a video of me just talking about the song 430.
Yeah.
And like I've seen just even on like Instagram, like you're always replying to the fans in your comments, and it's so nice to have that. It's refreshing because a lot of times artists kind of stay away from their fans a little bit. So it's
Mhm.
really refreshing that you make sure to take the time to have that interaction because it means a lot to just even that little moment with having that little interaction.
Come on, absolutely. I appreciate that. That's the realest part of it to me,
Yeah,
you know. And God, I've been so grateful to have heard back from people who have told me that they were going through a tough time, going through suicidal thoughts, going through anxiety and stress, and going through mental challenges, physical challenges, just every single thing under the sun, and drug addiction, whatever it may be. Like people have reached out to me over the years, whether it was DM or
hmm,
they've told me that that the music helped them. And so for me, when I go through my shit,
yeah,
I'm like, um, when I hear that, it dwarfs all of my stuff. Everything, it makes everything worth it.
yeah.
It and going on tour and like actually seeing people and connecting with them in real life and having them share their stories with me was just so special. And I never want people to feel unseen, and I never want the people who are giving me like an opportunity to make a living with this.
Yeah.
I never want them to feel like a number. So I think as a fan, as somebody like I'm a fan first and foremost of music, of rap, of artists that I love, and I've felt that way before.
Yeah.
And I don't want to feel that way. I don't want to make anybody feel that way. I think that I make music so that people can feel seen and can feel included and can feel empowered and encouraged and inspired.
The whole
So
purpose is to connect
yeah,
us all. Yeah, for sure.
yeah, for sure. But I go through my cycles, my ups and downs,
Yeah.
and there's days I don't want to talk to anybody, and it's never coming from a place of like superiority or feeling like, oh, this is not worth my time. It's always coming from a place of I'm a recluse today. So anytime
It's
I
normal though, man. Like you need to also give yourself that reminder that you
yeah,
need to feel your emotions, and there's nothing wrong with taking time for yourself, especially when you're constantly on the move.
right.
And, obviously some people will understand that, some people won't, but everyone has those moments, man. It's perfectly normal, and you need to remind yourself that
Yeah,
it's okay to feel.
come on, absolutely. I appreciate that. And sometimes it's tough to feel that way though. Sometimes
Yeah.
because sometimes I feel like I have to be the role model or the like the encouraging force to come on, keep going. And I feel like I'm letting people down if I'm ever like, weak or I'm having
Yeah.
a down moment. But that's unfair because I think for people to feel seen, they have to relate. And
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And when people know that we go through things, those same ups and downs, and life ain't all peachy all the time, it's like if I see that, I'm like, okay, I'm not alone in this. Like even a person that I listen to or whatever is going through that, and now I feel like I can handle it. So I have to remind myself that like I'm not some fucking robot.
Yeah, yeah, basically. And that's the thing, like I think that's the beauty of what we are having nowadays, where we're able to express those emotions. Before,
Yeah,
I think like growing up, you were kind of seen a little different for expressing if you had like mental health and stuff. So I think
yeah,
it's very inspiring that you keep putting that even in your music and stuff too. Like being as transparent as you are, it's very unique, and it's very good. Like I think that's what people need because we all relate to that. That's the
yeah.
biggest thing. Like what connects us to music is things that we can relate to and talk about. So
Yes, absolutely. Well, come on, I appreciate that, man. It's good
yeah,
to hear that from you though.
for sure, for sure. Obviously, like during the pandemic era, it was different for us, but it
Mhm.
also pushed us to become more creative because of less resources.
Yeah.
How did you and the team draw inspiration? And yeah, how do you and the team draw inspiration when the world's kind of at a standstill?
Oh, that was honestly the career wise was a life-changing year for me because
Yeah.
um, it forced it forced me to tunnel vision, you know? Um, Gave me a reason to block out all the other bullshit
Yep.
and just focus on the task at hand. And the task at hand was to create music, put it out, give it to people, and keep it moving and not overthink the process. And it's funny because most of the time when, you know, most of the time when something is showing stagnation or isn't going as well as you'd want it to go is
Yeah.
generally because you're getting in your own way.
Yeah.
And and that's kind of what I feel like during COVID, there were a couple things. It's like, you know what an outlier is?
What's that?
An outlier is like when you're, it's like when you're born something in the exact right time.
Oh, okay,
It's like
okay.
an outlier is like, so for instance, like I was an outlier in 2020 because I was an independent artist who had the rights to all of my
Yep.
music. I wasn't held back by a major machine who was trying to execute a big plan for me.
Yeah.
Uh, so when COVID happened, um, a lot of things stopped in the music industry. So
Yeah.
you had a lot of artists that peeled back and said, okay, well, I'm gonna wait to put out music. I'm gonna wait to put out my videos. I'm gonna wait to go on tour. I'm gonna wait to do all those things. So why I was an outlier and a bunch of other artists like my peers
Yeah.
that had some success in 2020 was because a lot of those channels were looking for music more than ever. And
Yeah.
we provided them with that. And so like the promoting sounds and the bangers only and the vibes only and all those
The
YouTube channels.
YouTube space. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that was at that time they were thirsty for music and content and whatever they could get their hands on. And we provided a way to get that with no problems, no red tape, because it was like, hey, I'm looking for exposure. I got 10 songs waiting to go. And so algorithmically, I started getting I started kind of breaking through the noise a little
Yeah.
bit. Yeah. And then that came with a lot of other things, the NBA 2K placement and a couple of songs like California doing well on the Instagram video and then it going kind of viral with the
Yeah.
with the anime video. So it was like a lot of these things kind of coincided, but the main thing was because I got out of my own way. I got creative with how to put stuff out within a budget. So
Yeah.
like all of my cover art was just photos. It was like even that, it was just like fuck all of the other shit. Like I'm not spending money on all these things. Like
Yeah.
Fiverr was king in 2020. It was
Jeez.
like Fiverr, bro. Like if I'm not
Yeah.
doing Fiverr, I can go I'm just gonna get creative. And what that did though, like cover art and aesthetically was it put me it helped me to build my brand. So it
Yeah.
helped me build my aesthetic and kind of like my kind of vintage vibe of, using film and Polaroids and digital or you know what I mean, disposable
Yeah. Yeah.
stuff. And so like all of that stuff, it just kind of that's where that came from. It was just out of the necessity to just keep going.
Which is so dope because like you said, like it opened your eyes to see what else you can do in terms of creativity because
Yeah,
like, it was hard to get certain resources and also like kind of like, yo, I'm not gonna spend how much money on, this person to go do this kind of work. And when in
right,
reality is like, if you have your team that can make it work and, you have a vision that you just guys can all talk about, it's even better because obviously like there's more of a connection based on that rather than someone that is trying to kind of see if they can get your vision across.
right, 100%.
From the last time that we talked and we had our interview, obviously you worked with a lot of special artists. I saw one was with Designer, if I'm correct, right?
Oh, I was in the studio with them.
You're
Yeah.
in the studio with him. So
Yeah.
how was that process working with him and any other artists that you've been up to?
Yeah. So Designer was more of a fly on the wall
Yeah.
in that particular session. I think the one you're talking about is the one with Scott Storch.
Yes,
And
yes.
so basically I work with Chanel Westcoast.
Yep.
Um, just recently I did the theme song for her new show. So
Oh, nice.
her new show is called West Coast. West Coast Hustle.
Yeah.
And me and the team, we recorded and helped and co-wrote her album at our studio. And that all those songs started to come out into the show
Yeah.
on the and then additionally I wrote a song called Cool Off, and she ended up choosing that one for the theme song every time the show starts. So through that relationship and through that whole process, Scott Storch had seen the show, liked the show, and invited Chanel to come record with him when he was in town, when he was in LA.
Yeah.
And so Chanel invited me to help her write some stuff. We wrote a really cool record that was kind of a Hotel California flip. And
Jeez.
designer walked in and thought it was dope. And we kicked it and shared some music and shared some laughs. And that was pretty much it. We didn't make anything together, but I did get to work with Scott Storch, and that was pretty special.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, like working with him, like obviously he's created some of the classic hits,
Yeah, bro, it's insane. I mean,
and
he's done everything from like all the Dr. Dre. It's funny because all the Dr. Dre music that we know,
yeah,
um, like the essence of it, the keys, it's
yeah.
Scott Storch,
You
all
can
the
just
all
think it off your head, like that's how monumental it was.
exactly. It's insane. And it goes back to the idea of getting out of your own way. Scott
Yeah.
Storch is like a perfect example of that. He doesn't think at all. He doesn't have that much music theory or that much training with his instrument. He's just really tapped in and tuned in with his frequency of what he wants to hear. And
Wow.
he cares very little about the result, and he cares much more about how he feels when he's playing and how what the vibe of the room is. And
Yeah.
so he's interesting. You know how he always wears his glasses?
Yeah.
He's really not tuned out. He's looking at everybody. And
Wow.
if you get close enough to him, you'll see his eyes moving everywhere and he's looking at everybody. And what he's trying to do is he's seeing how this is making the people in the room feel. And if he feels their energy go crazy, then that's the thing, that's the chord structure that he's gonna do. That's the sound that he's gonna go with. So it's really cool to see. He doesn't he moves very fast.
Yeah.
His son, God, I'm blanking on his name, but his son is a
Yeah.
really talented young cat. I think he's like 15, 16.
Oh wow.
Producer, engineer that kind of he engineers all his sessions. He keeps his dad inside of the lines. And
Yeah.
his Scott will be like going crazy and he'll start going on a rant. And his son is like a very orderly engineer, like
Yeah.
very what's the word when you're like task? He's
Like
very
like
task
he,
oriented.
he's
Yeah,
he's locked into a point where like I was gonna say like he makes sure that nothing oversteps or out of
right.
bounds, basically.
Exactly. So it's cool to see like the father son combo. Chanel had a fucking great name for a potential show with them. Past the Storch.
Oh, that's fire.
So, yeah, so Chanel's actually producing shows for MTV right now,
Yeah.
outside of her own show, and I think she wanted to pitch that one. So I don't know
Jeez.
if they're making any leeway on it, but I would love like a show between Scott Storch and his son. And it's called Past the Storch, and it's
Yeah.
all about him like
The name
passing
is
the
already gonna capture you, and then like
way.
obviously that's gonna be so dope to see like two minds
Yeah,
like that thinking and seeing how they work,
for
because
sure.
obviously like no one really sees behind the scenes of how much work goes into it. So,
Right, exactly. And I just think it was so inspiring to be in there. And I love seeing family work together. So that shit was definitely heartwarming. And it was dope of Chanel to bring me to that. That was really dope of her to bring me. And
yeah,
so we're working on more stuff too.
that's exciting. I think one thing I always realized too was you and Chanel always have like a really good like friendship where you guys are always like co-signing each other, putting each other on, like if you guys have anything. And it's dope to have that because especially I'm assuming in the industry, like it's hard to find like real friends like that when it
Yeah.
comes to music, right? Because everyone's trying to take for their own.
Definitely. It is nice when there's a saying Marcus Aurelius says. He says a man or a woman is to teach and to be taught.
Yeah,
And I think it's a really good reminder that like if we can teach somebody something and learn from them, that's the greatest relationship.
Yep.
And some people are so close-minded that they aren't willing to learn anything. So they have nothing to learn. And some people are closed books and they don't want to teach you anything. Or some people are completely out of their mind and have nothing to teach you anyway. So so it's nice to have relationships in kind of a I scratch your back, you scratch mine type thing that
Yeah.
isn't so transactional, but it's much more like, wow, I'm learning a lot from you, and I feel like you're learning a lot from me. And that's what me and Chanel's relationship has been. She drives me bonkers sometimes,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
it's a brotherly sister thing. I
It's all
want
love
her.
at the end of the day. Yeah.
It is. It's all love. She takes me everywhere that she can, and I show up for every time she asks me to. On the writing side, on the artist side, I'm performing with her at the LA Fashion Show on Saturday.
Oh,
If
nice, nice.
you're off.
Look
Yeah,
out for that, guys.
yeah, hell yeah. So, um, a dope, a dope person in my life that has kind of shown me the other side of the bridge when it comes to influence, and
Yeah,
it's been cool for her to bring me along to some cool rooms
that's
for sure.
dope, man. That's dope. I also remember too that you were also going on tour for a little bit.
Yeah.
How did you enjoy that experience and working with different artists and obviously
Yes.
traveling, you know?
Tour was so tight, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, tour was so tight. I was on tour for 20 cities with Fora. And
Yeah.
it was another artist that um really gave me a great opportunity to travel the country and perform for thousands of fans. It was
Yeah.
it was really special. Like, you know, things were definitely challenging. Like I carried a lot of weight on that tour. Um,
Yeah.
when it came to making sure that my team was good and straight, everyone was eating, everyone was, we had our rooms, we had our transportation. I had help with my guys, but at the same time, coordinating all of that and funding all of that wasn't an easy task, but it
Yeah.
was that challenge was like life changing. It was one of the best lessons I've gotten as an artist
Yeah.
was being on that tour and just figuring it out. But being able to walk on stage with 1,000 plus people every night was fucking dope. So that changed my life, bro. That really made me feel like, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to do this all the time. Like I want
Yeah.
to make music and I want to go tour. I want to go tour and perform it. Like seeing
And-
people in El Paso and all these different cities was so sick.
Yeah, and then probably like the atmosphere of hearing that crowd like roar is like something that's you'll never get
Yeah.
to experience anywhere else.
No, no, it's very special. And the people another thing like, you know, I'm not I'm still an establishing artist, you know? Like
Yeah.
I've had great moments and I'm very lucky to be doing music like this full time. But like I'm still working to break in,
Yeah.
you know? So when I have a artist that, you know, comes up to me in a random city and tells me that how much he's been listening to the music or a lyric that resonated with him, or he's like wearing a shirt
Yeah.
or anything in that capacity, I'm like, holy shit, thank you. Wow, you
Yeah.
exist? That's amazing. So
No,
it's priceless.
yeah, it's kind of those things that will help you remind yourself of why you're doing this and what's pushing you
Yeah,
to, like even for me, like like when I started this podcasting thing, I just started as just like an idea where I was like, I didn't know where I was gonna go with it. And then, obviously like here I am today and I've had some good featured guests on the show
yeah,
and I think like it's helped push me to see that, it's okay to feel down on yourself sometimes, but you know what? Like
yeah.
you're doing something different and it's gonna create something as long as you're putting in your 100%. And people will come up to me and tell me like, oh, like it's so good that you're doing something different that we don't really see. And those little comments that you have are they're pointing at like, oh, I notice how you edit or how your audio is and stuff. Like those
Yeah.
things like mean the world to me because people actually take the time to actually like are watching your stuff, are listening.
Those encouraging moments are everything.
It means the world, man.
Hell yeah.
Um,
I love it, man. And I wish you nothing but success for everything that you do, bro. I know that anything that you do and moving on is going to be a success.
You too,
And
brother. I appreciate you always,
absolutely,
man.
bro. Come on, let's keep pushing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
So obviously the new project you is theme about breakup, right? Breakup songs.
yeah,
Uh,
breakup songs for the end of the world. Yeah.
yeah. So obviously, like, where did that inspiration come from? And obviously, what was the kind of concept that you went through with that? I feel like, it's really important
Yeah,
to also be able to talk about that if you want to touch on that a little
yeah,
bit.
for sure. Thank you. I I literally went through a breakup. Me and my girlfriend of 9 years, split up, and she's like my best friend too. So it wasn't an easy decision. It wasn't an easy breakup, but
Sure.
we were mature about it. We were on the same page about it. We lived together, had have two cats together.
Yeah.
So our families were very tight. We went on, vacations together. When you're in a relationship that long, it is so deep rooted that you almost become like family, and
Yeah.
it's like you have to walk away from all of it. And that can feel like the end of the world, you
Yeah.
know?
It's
It
true.
can feel like the end
Very true.
of a world. And I think that's kind of what think I was inspired to it's so funny. I haven't even really told anybody this. Um so my ex, she goes by Bast.
Yeah.
She's a really talented artist. Have you heard her music?
I've heard her music. Yeah, it's good. She's
Yeah,
good.
Bast, Bast. Yeah, super dope, and all of her new music is fire. Um so the funny thing is this is after the breakup, and
Yeah.
I wrote 12 songs. They were all
Wow.
breakup songs, all
Yeah.
breakup songs. And I knew um I wanted to make a breakup project,
Yeah.
and I wanted it to be inspired by all these different things like High Fidelity and Fallout. I wanted it to be vintage futuristic. I wanted it to be this cool like thing,
Yeah.
right? And I had the visuals set. I had the idea of it set. And I was calling the whole project Help. And
Yeah.
help exclamation point. That's what I had like on all the things I was calling it help. And but my tagline of it was these songs are breakup songs for the end of the world. So
Yeah.
I went to my ex's house, to my old house,
Yeah.
and she asked me how I was doing. We were catching up, and she asked me about the music and how the music was going, and I told her about this concept, and she's like, I was like, yeah, it's called Help, and they're like basically breakup songs for the end of the world. And she's like, you need to call it breakup songs for the end of the world, and
Jeez.
I'm like, yeah, you're right, I do.
Yeah,
And
because
so
that,
it's
that that
funny.
that hit right away when you seen that. I was like, holy shit, this you going all in, bro.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, so if anybody wants to, know the truth, I made a breakup project that was named by my ex.
Crazy.
So it's 12 songs. And this is all part of a project that's gonna trickle out. So I just dropped Shotgun.
Shotguns
Um,
out now. Yeah, very good song, bro.
thank you,
Featuring.
brother. Next up is Tied Up. It's a little bit more poppy, a little bit more dancey, and I'm going into these R&B spaces and things like that. So it's cool. It's a different vibe from me,
Yeah.
but I love it. Billion, oh, who's out of the room now, but my boy Billion, who did California and Hometown Famous and 430 with River,
Yeah.
uh, he produced the entire thing. Um, and yeah, so I'm gonna be doing the EP will drop. That's gonna be 6 songs in February, and then I'm just gonna keep dropping singles and singles until the album. So
Fire, fire. Obviously, I'm gonna be promoting that as well.
thank you, bro.
Um,
I gotta send you merch, and I want to send you a bunch of I got like a few like marketing materials for you. I
oh,
want.
sick, sick. Yeah, I'll send you my details after when we
Oh,
finish.
yeah.
But I'll be honest, man. Like I can't wait for this project because I think that
Thank
it's
you.
very important to create music that obviously resonates with people, and then everyone
Yeah.
goes through breakups, and
Right.
what else better to be be able to listen to and just be like, fuck man, like I remember feeling this way, and you know
Right.
so I'm very excited to hear obviously like how honest you're gonna be because it takes a lot to obviously even put that out there. So shout out to you for even doing that, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's probably
Thank you, bro.
it's not easy, but I'm very excited to hear about that.
Thank you, man. It's cathartic though. It's like
Yeah,
anytime you release a song, there's like an emotion attached to it, and you get to release that quite literally,
yeah,
physically release that. And I think that's a really cool opportunity that we have as artists to do is it's almost like breathing in and breathing out. And
yeah,
I love being part of that, to being able to process something, write about it, express it, and then release it. And every time I release something into the ether,
yeah,
it's almost like I give it out, I give it away. It's done. Like I did it, I dealt with it, I give it away.
yeah.
And it's special. So it's what I'm doing, it's what I did with this. It really feels like therapeutic in a way. So
100%, 100%.
yeah.
To anyone going through a breakup, what would be some advice you would probably give to them?
Oh, be grown, be mature. I don't think
Yeah,
that things need to end in a toxic way. I don't think things need to end in a with negativity. I don't think anyone should ever be in a place where we can't find common ground.
yeah,
And I also think that everyone has their own perspective of why things have gone wrong, and I think I would implore people to figure out what that is for the other person,
yeah,
and and try to find some type of common ground to say, okay, this wasn't working for you, or you weren't operating the way that I would, but you have your reasons and I have mine. And I think that that's really important for two people, especially two people who shared a lot of love,
yeah,
and shared a lot of respect, to be able to do together. And that'll I think that'll make you feel, anybody out there that is going through a breakup, will make you feel a lot more whole. It's like these things happened for a reason, it's like
yeah,
that I learned from this, and I'm gonna implement that into my next, whatever, wherever
yeah.
I go next in life, and so we get to learn a lot about ourselves through relationships, through challenging
Yep.
times. And I would say take every breakup just the same as every loss. It's dope, bro. You get to learn a lot from it. You get to move on and start
Learn more
fresh.
about yourself and what,
Yeah.
things that you probably wouldn't discover before. And it's all part of the process. That's you just have to
100.
remind yourself.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's really
exactly.
dope, man.
Yeah. That, and don't put your don't throw yourself into vices. Like
Mhm.
don't I mean, do whatever you want to do, but but that would be my other advice, is really go inward.
Yeah,
Really like figure out where you are and where you want to go from here, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, everywhere. Like get yourself in shape, put your energy in the gym, put your energy into health, put your energy into something creative.
yeah,
Uh, Instead of just going out and feeling like it's okay to be lonely. Lonely is doesn't exist. Like
yeah,
you got to learn how to be okay with you, and that's what I would say. Learn how to be okay and great and at peace with yourself, and then you can go and share your life with someone else. So if you're just looking to fill these things, you're going to go from relationship to relationship trying to fill these things. And
yeah.
so that's
And
what I
you're
would.
always gonna be trying to fill something, and it's not gonna
Yeah,
ever be complete.
right. Yeah. So
Oh, that's great, man. I think that everything you said in this interview has been amazing, bro. I really appreciate you doing this, and I
thanks,
can't
man.
wait for what's coming out. I really appreciate you, obviously, everything you've done for me and getting me to where I'm at today. Like you were a big part of that, man. I hope you know that you're always like a big bro. Every time I need advice, and if you ever need anything, I'm always here as well.
Thank you, man. I
You know,
appreciate that.
just let the people know what you got going on and where they can find you and stuff.
Man, I appreciate you, and I just want to big up you as well. I really appreciate your support throughout the years, and your love, bro. Like it means the world to me, honestly. Thank you for fucking with the movement, bro. Thank you
Always.
for rocking with the music, for rocking with me. I hope very soon we can get you out here, get you to a
Yes,
show,
sir. Yes, sir.
do an in-person interview, do an
Yep.
in-person video, introduce you to some people out here. So anytime you're in LA, please, bro, let me know. Like you could stay here for a couple days if you need.
Oh, I
So
appreciate that, Brand. Yeah, so definitely, hopefully next year, like I'm planning to actually do a little bit more traveling, actually, because now I have like things kind of like more settled down. So
yeah,
I'll definitely set something up for sure, man.
so say less. Well, yeah, everything Ill Nicky, the Ill Nicky. I've got merch back up too. So anybody that's interested in buying a hat or a shirt or a crew neck or a hoodie, you
Yep.
know, this is my, as an indie artist, is my bread and butter. It's my net. So like any time somebody buys a piece of merch is really special, and I always put something extra and something special in there. So my merch store is up. We're streaming, me and my best friends.
Also, love the streams, by the way. Streams are
Thank you
wicked.
so
The
much, man.
freestyles and also like,
Yeah.
hearing the new artists and stuff I was watching is, it's so dope. Love it.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much. Shout out to my guys, Billion and Obvi. We're doing tomorrow at 6 p. or excuse me, tomorrow at 7 p.m.
Yep.
So basically every Thursday we're going to be doing music reviews, and they're a lot of fun. People can come in, play their music, get some feedback, get some just have some fun. We dance, we just have a blast together, just passing the aux around. So tune into that. We're streaming 2 to 3 times a week. Usually Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, but always going to be doing those Thursdays with the music reviews. And next song comes out November 8th.
Right.
And gearing up for a couple more shows in the new year. And we're just gonna keep rocking.
Fire, bro. We'll definitely run this back soon, hopefully by the next year. And obviously, like you said, hopefully in person.
Yeah.
But
Tell me tell me something. Do you have where you work? What do you call your podcast?
the Trey Fan Podcast.
The Trey Fam, right?
Yeah.
I love that you have fam in there.
Yeah, it's just to bring the people together. Like I always say, like, like if you're a part of this, if you're watching it, you're part of the family. That was the whole concept of
Right.
it. And Trey, as in like three ball, like as a basketball, you're always trying to shoot for like.
Hell yeah.
So I
Hell
try
yeah.
to do two things I love as a concept, and then yeah. So
Well, shout out to the Trey Fam podcast. We in here.
yes, sir.
You're the first person I've really spoken to about a lot of these things. So thank you for letting me get some of this stuff off my chest. But it's familia, bro, for me. Let's keep moving.
Yes, sir. Always got you, family. Appreciate you, bro.
Bro,
Thanks for
thank
taking
you,
the time to
man.
do this, man. Take
You
care.
too. Thanks, brother. Have a good one.